All right, so for today, we got the second problem on Colin Galen's dynamic programming stream that I've been going through. I'm about an hour into it right now, and I decided to do this problem by myself to try to see if I could do it. And I could. I did solve it, but I didn't use dynamic programming. I kind of got sidetracked, which I don't know. Like, it just doesn't click for me. Like, when I attempt to do these problems, like this was my solution to this problem. Um, so as you can see, it's really long, like way too long. Uses up a lot of memory, vectors and stuff, which obviously didn't need to be used. But basically, the problem simply is you have a substring or you have a string of length n with k digits or kind of keyboard keys that you're allowed to use, and they're defined down here. And you see how many substrings you can make um, with just those two keyboard uh, keys, and it gives you the formula up here. So that's kind of like the hard part out of the way. But what I did is this kind of very bloated thing, where I basically defined a vector of the strings. The idea was if I could get kind of the substrings in a vector and then go and then take the size of those substrings and then run it through that formula, then I would be able to compute the total and then add. So this is the formula right here, and then add the total or add the formula to the total for each string in the vector that I got from just like parsing together the substrings of the longer original string. This is not the way to do it uh, efficiently at all, but I mean, it worked kind of. So yeah, my submission, uh, you know, right here, um, not bad. Uh, it works, but not the most efficient. So I'm gonna try to get it more efficient by doing his dynamic programming method, and I kind of coded some of it here already. Um, it's not finished all the way. I still have to go through, but I just decided to call it quits for tonight. Um, in addition to this, I did some homework problems today too. Um, but yeah, I don't know why my brain kind of works in this procedural way. Maybe not procedural. I don't know what the best way to put it is, but um, definitely a very too 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 much. It's too much that I'm doing, and I need to kind of simplify it down. Because in a way, like, or not in a way, like, this is definitely true. The simpler you can make something is like the more intelligent you are, the smarter you are usually to use up less memory, and do things better, more efficiently, which I'm not able to do yet. And so also I don't really know, like, when I say dynamic programming, like, I know kind of what it is, but I don't know what it is, if that makes sense. Like, I could not even come close to explaining it yet. Um, so hopefully, you know, down the line, I can maybe in a week or two's time, once I finish with this video and kind of redo these problems in a dynamic programming sort of way, I can figure out what it is a little better. It's kind of the same thing with object-oriented programming. I've been thinking about some projects to do, one of which is a PEMDAS calculator, where you kind of just, it's not like you can input 5 times 9, shoot, 5 times 9 plus 8, 88, I guess, to the second power, right? And it'll, do this in order of operations. So it'll do this first, and then raise that to the 2, raise that to 2, and then multiply it all by 5. And that requires like a shunting yard algorithm and all this stuff, and templating class functions, stuff like that, and object, or what is it called, operator overloading, like stuff that like I kind of, you don't get from competitive programming at all. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, the object oriented programming that C++ kind of has you do is, I feel like, not how my brain automatically thinks of things. I think more like procedural. So I think the common way to say it, and I don't know, I'm probably wrong about this, but like with object-oriented programming, you think about the data first and then the algorithms, or and then the way that you implement that data. So like obviously when you're writing your .h files, your header files, you're gonna write all the class declarations and whatever, and then write out the algorithms. But you're gonna like declare everything first, kind of get your order down. But in other kind of ways of thinking, you do maybe the opposite, and I don't have much experience with either. But I feel like my brain works more so towards this kind of like procedural programming mindset, which I don't know if, like, you can obviously change it because I'm pretty new to programming in general. But I'm wondering if it's the same way with this, or maybe I'm just dumb. But like the way that I prefer to do these kind of problems is not in a recursive or dynamic programming method. It's more so whatever you call this. Maybe this is just the dumb way of doing it. But yeah, more on that later. We'll see. But yeah, that was it for today.